Alrighty, folks. Phoenix. Is that a banger or what? How about, were there any controversial calls that NASCAR had to make? Anyway, let's get on to it. Overall, for Phoenix, I think that was a pretty good race. The tire, they had the two options tires. They had two option tires. They had the primary and the option tires, which I just hard and soft, or yellow and red. I don't know why they make it so difficult. Even the broadcasts couldn't figure out what they wanted to call them. But anyway, all in all, I mean, it was a pretty good race. You had comers and goers. Granted, once you had like Priest, that first caution, I'm pretty sure is when Catherine Legg spun. I think it was that one. He put on the reds and he went from, I don't know, he gained 22 spots, I believe, 20 spots, something like that. I mean, he was on a roll, but ultimately he did not win the stage. He's getting up there close to Byron, but he could not catch Byron or Reddick. I thought there was another car up there. Yeah, so he made up there pretty good. He got some stage points, which I mean, I guess depending on what your day is you're going for, that's what you want. You had Haley and Briscoe and Hocevar, which all started apparently with Gibbs, which Gibbs, I don't know, some people say it's Gibbs' fault. I kind of, I mean, there was room between him and Haley. Haley just went up the track and hit Briscoe into Hocevar. And then on the radio, you hear Haley, he came across my nose. I tried to check up with him, and I don't know what Haley saw. He didn't come across the nose. He didn't touch him. He maybe crowded him a little bit, but there was plenty of daylight in between there. He didn't have to go up into Briscoe. But anyway, so I think it was that caution, actually, that Logano switched to the soft tires, and he was making hay. He had a double-digit lead at one point on all the way up to the third place car. So from fourth place on back, they were 10 seconds behind. And obviously, that was a 70 lap run, or 70 lap run. At 65 is when Bell started really catching. Probably say, because he was conserving, you could tell he was not running hard, because Bell was slowly catching him, and then finally once it got to where the tires were basically gone, Bell caught him, and Bell within 8 laps put 3 seconds on him. So you could probably have ran the Reds competitively, like under race conditions, for 50, 55, depending on how aggressive you were with air pressures or camber and all that. But I think it was the option tire made Phoenix a good race. I know some people think it's a gimmick. They don't like it. Just give them all reds. I mean, I guess that would work too, because then you have to, it would be like Bristol last spring again, I guess. You got to save your tires or you're going to blow a tire. But I do like the strategy of it. I mean, I'm speaking for me, of, hey, what I think they should do, so it was 6 hard tires and 2 sets of soft tires. I say you make it even, since you give them 8 sets, make it 4 and 4, and then you can do, maybe you don't have to save 2 sets, because the one, a lot of people, the complaint against this, or argument against having 2 tires, is everybody's going to be on the same strategy, which that did kind of happen whenever you got to the later part of stage 3, actually stage 3 in general, almost. Everybody was on the red, so, or soft. See there, I can't even keep up with what I want to call them. Everybody was on the soft tires, so there really was no passing at that point. Only you do, depending on who you were, like Logano, Chastain, Eric Jones, I believe Cindric and Reddick, but by the time this came into play, Reddick was a lap down. Actually, I think Reddick had 2 full sets left. I think he actually went home with a set of softs, but he had power steering problems, so there's really nothing they could do about that. Only thing you do is put on a hard tire and hope that it went green and you could just run right past everybody. And that's the thing, it's like you don't know when the cautions are going to fall with this. What tire do you want? Because like I said, you had, although just named, Jones, Logano, I believe it was Cindric was as well, and Chastain, who put on the reds to start stage 2. Why you'd start a stage with them on, I don't know, because you don't know when the caution's coming. And 20 laps into it, they got a caution. And I was like, you put these reds on, you obviously are not going to keep them on at this point in time. But I mean, that's just the way it goes. I mean, you set up a strategy, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you got to change it. It's like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a game plan until you get punched in the mouth. And it kind of what happened to some people yesterday thanks to untimely cautions. I mean, Byron, untimely caution on pit road, got caught. It was when Bubba's rotor exploded. But, yeah, they bounced back, and 7th place finish for Byron. I think he was last one, so he had been 20th. I think only 20 cars finished on the lead lap. So he was 20th with, I think, about 20 to 25 to go when that happened, and he worked his way up. So, hey, good on a Blaney streak ended. I think that went back to like 2019 or 18 of no mechanical failures. It went back a while. I missed what they said. I don't think they ever said on the broadcast. They just said his streak was over and it's a couple of years long. Yeah, he blew up. Suarez was having a good day until he wasn't. Catherine Legg tried to get out of Josh Berry's way as Berry was lapping her, and she touched right front to his left rear sort of door somewhere in there and lost it, and Suarez had nowhere to go and hit her in the door, and that was the end of his day. So 22 to go when Blaney blew up. You had Logano. So he had the 22 lap used tire. He could have put that on. He chose to go with the hard tire. Chastain and Jones put on the used soft tire. End up coming in a few laps later and putting on sticker hards. I don't think they really did much with that. Well, Jones was top. Actually, both of them. Chastain finished 11th and Jones was 18th. But this was the first time all year that the winner has led the most laps. Going into today's race, 3 winners. I guess technically it'd only be the 2 winners, Byron and Bell. At this point, only led a total of 19 laps. And now Bell led the most laps this race, and he won. Which is funny, because last week, if you listen to Actions Detrimental, Denny said, if there's anyone you don't want to lose to, you don't want to lose to a teammate. Losing to a teammate is the worst. I'm paraphrasing here. And he lost to a teammate. It was a good, hard battle. Larson was there. He got Bell a little squirrely right before the line. But, I mean, it was side by side for the last lap, 2 laps. It was good, clean, edge of your seat racing. I don't think Phoenix has saw that since Harvick. It was the second closest finish in Phoenix history. I think Harvick's was 2018. But, so we got that. Now let's go to another JGR driver who is not having the same luck and might want to find a horseshoe or sneak into Bell's house and pull that horseshoe out of Bell's you-know-what, and you know what to do with it. Ty Gibbs. So the last 9 races, he has only one top 20, which is not very good. So we're going to start with Phoenix. You got 25th at Phoenix, 34th at Coda, 32nd at Atlanta. Daytona's where he got 16th. Then going back to last year, Phoenix, championship race, he was 40th. Martinsville, he was 32nd. Homestead 36th. Vegas 30th. And at the Roval, he was 35th. So that's 9 races that, I mean, he's got 2 that are in the top 30. Yeah. Phoenix and Daytona. And I think you have to go back to Talladega, which I think it was the week before the Roval. He actually finished 15th or 14th, something like that. And so stage points, Beyer had a good stage points. He had 18, Seabell 17, Reddick 15, which ain't bad for Reddick considering the day he had. I don't know exactly where he finished. Oh, he finished 20th. Well, that's not bad for not having power steering. I mean, do we want 2 option tires? What tracks can we run 2 option tires or 2 tires? And I'd say, what should we just not do it? Just give them all softs at every track that can have. I think all your short tracks and road courses. I feel like once you get into the intermediates, you're getting a little too fast the speeds entering the corner for a risk of a tire blowing because it's worn out. But I think short tracks, so Martinsville, Richmond, Phoenix is technically not a short track, but it races like short track. I don't know why they call it a short track, but they can have it. So Richmond, Martinsville, Phoenix, Bristol, Chicago road course. I don't know what's happening to my throat right now. Roval, Watkins Glen, Sonoma. Like, yeah, let's give them 2 options. See what happens. Don't see what can go wrong with that. But yeah, I'm pretty that was good. I mean, I would probably rate it if I was voting on Gluck's poll. I would rate 72, 74. I mean, like I said, it was a good race in the sense of if you're watching it, hey, this is like Priest moved up to the field, but you knew most likely he wasn't going to stay there. Logano, same thing. You use 1 set of softs. Everyone else has 2 sets. But you never know how things are going to play out. That's the beauty of it. That's why we watch it for 3.5 to 4 hours is the ending. And a bad race can be saved by a great finish. I've seen it plenty of times in local dirt track racing that I go to. It can be a boring race, and then the last 5 laps, business can pick up, and you're like, oh, that was the greatest race ever. When in actuality, you slept through the first 3/4 of the race. But, oh, what else is there to talk about? Oh, we need to talk about points. We talked about... Oh, so let's go back to Seabell for a second. So Seabell's got 3 in a row. We're going back to another track he's good at. He's been a bridesmaid quite often. That's Vegas, which is another track that Larson's good at. And these two, from NASCAR to the Chili Bowl and sprint cars, they always seem to find themselves battling each other out, finishing 1-2. Generally, Larson was getting the better of them until this last 3 weeks. And he can win Vegas easily for 4. He can go to Martinsville and Homestead after that. Yeah, he goes Homestead after that. I mean, he could get 5 in a row. Is it likely? Probably not. That's way too many variables for this to go on. But you gotta, if you're a betting person, you kind of got to put money on Bell right now. They're firing on all 8 cylinders, and they don't look to be slowing down at all. They just got to keep it going all year long. They can't pull a Byron. Byron's done this the last 2 seasons, not three-peat, but they've started off strong. They won 3-4 races in the first 10, and then you don't hear from them. They don't get another win. They're barely getting top 10. I can't get on that. I don't remember all those stats, but you get what I'm saying. Let's not get too crazy on Seabell being our champion this year. There's a lot of time left to figure out what going on. But, yeah. that's all I got for Phoenix. So until next time, you know what to do. Take care. We got to work on that ending.